it wasn't unbelievable. It's not like the Oilers were under siege the whole night. There was a lot of perimeter shots and things of that nature. He still had to make some really, really massive saves in that one. Some point blank stops, breakaways, 2-on-1s, rebounds. He was sharp on. Like, here, we'll play a couple of them, but like this stop on Kyle Connor kicking out the pad, like, again, sometimes these saves look a little bit because Calvin Pickard is a bit of a style of goaltender. But full marks, man. He was just unbelievable.
Yeah, and even I think it was the first shot of the game was Kyle Connor, and he had to get across his crease and stuff him. It's just like he was dialed in from the get go, and even the goal that went in was a bit unlucky, I would think. He was outstanding. He was honestly like a little bit of what we saw in the playoffs from him, where it was like this guy's just dialed in tonight, and when he is dialed, he can be difficult to beat, but he is very road hockey. We all know it, but it gets the job done on some nights, and some nights it looks awful. So, but last night was a great one. I'm glad he was able to do it in Winnipeg. Obviously, there was a whole thing of his family coming to watch him practice, and I was reading Spector's article. I guess he had like a big family dinner as well on Sunday. So it's good. Like you want these guys when they get to go home and play in front of their family to perform at a high level. And Calvin Pickard, like I don't know what his entire career looks like, obviously, but I feel like that might be top 3 games he's played for the Oilers, at least.
The Tampa game earlier this year was unbelievable, and I feel like he had a bit more 10-bell saves in that one.
Yeah.
You could probably find some playoff performances as well, but it's noteworthy. And listen, I joked about it yesterday, and I tweeted out the photo of Dominic Hasek. But, like, it's kind of interesting how, like, in each of the last 2 playoff runs, I think it's totally fair to say that when Calvin Pickard got those opportunities, his career was on the line. Like, if he would have came in and been garbage for the Oilers in either one of those 2 playoff relief appearances, he would have been kicked to the curb in the summer and gone. But he came through, delivered in some big, big pressure moments in the playoffs. And you even go to this year, we both laughed that they were throwing him to the Wolves against Tampa Bay a month ago, right? We were like, this is Calvin Pickard's final NHL start. We literally had and played this game on Oilers Nation radio that day. We're like, he's done. Like, he's going to get that start against Tampa. He's going to give up 6, and he's on waivers the next day. And like out of nowhere, he pulls off this north of 35 save performance and is unbelievable. And honestly, like he comes into last night's game and it felt a little bit like you were driving the old family dog up to the farm, right? It was, man, they're giving him the start in Winnipeg, his homecoming game. Like that's just a great feel good moment for Cal. And we said yesterday, they always seem to want to do right by him. Maybe this is them being like, hey, the job's Ingram's, but we're giving you this one. Well, and then all of a sudden he's making it a conversation again. And I'm fascinated to see who they start tomorrow. Because if it is Connor Ingram one more time, I think you can lock it in pen, permanent marker, whatever. Connor Ingram's going to be the backup goaltender when Tristan Jarry returns. If they go Pickard tomorrow, Liam, that means this competition is truly still wide open.
It really does. I just don't know if you can play him tomorrow, and I don't want to sound like a Debbie Downer after how well he played, but we have seen this story a couple times before where they're like, "Okay, Picks was awesome. Like, we're gonna give him the next game," and he plays 2 in a row, and it's just an absolute stinker. So I hope he can keep doing well, and I hope he does force a conversation. The one side of the Connor Ingram thing, which is interesting, Spector tweeted about this yesterday, is just he is technically here on an emergency loan. So he can only play 10 games and he can still pass through waivers. So technically not on the roster in a way, doesn't require waivers. So I still think you go to Ingram, but maybe you just go to Cal after that. I don't even know what the game would be, but who knows? Like, we really don't know how long Tristan Jarry is even going to be out for. It could be a couple more weeks for all we know. We are getting to the couple of weeks point already, which Chris Knobloch mentioned. So we'll see. The one other thing I wanted to mention, because people brought up in the chat, Calvin Pickard does have a brother. Chet Pickard was the former 12th overall pick in the 18th overall pick in the 2008 draft to Nashville, but never played a game in the NHL. So there you go.
Yeah, his brother going 18th overall. Cal went in the second round, like it was like 59th overall or something like that. There we had a comment in here. Naveed said we can't have either of them as a third backup. He then said send Jarry to the minors, which is a stupid comment. It makes me think maybe you're trolling. But if this first one was honest, they don't have the money for it. It was kind of outlined on Twitter that like if everyone's back and you need Wallman in the lineup, you're actually not going to be able to carry an extra forward. You're probably going to have to put Curtis Lazar on waivers and run with a roster that's 12 forwards, 7 defensemen, and 2 goalies. So, maybe if their cap situation's better, or if someone's on LTIR, or if they free up some cap space, then maybe you can keep 3 goalies. Because here's another thing that I thought a week, 10, 14 days ago, I'm like, it is a lock. Calvin Pickard clears waivers and goes down to Bakersfield. Ottawa has Ullmark on a leave, and Levi Marilainen or Levi Marilainen has not been very good this season, at least inconsistent. Second up is Carolina, who now no longer has Pyotr Kochetkov. He's out for the year. Freddie Anderson's been garbage. They're trusting Brandon Bussey. It's like Carolina or Ottawa might legitimately claim Pickard if you put him on waivers right now. Again, probably 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks away from having to have this conversation. Nobody knows how much longer Tristan Jarry is going to be out for, but I will say, like, he's playing well. He's piecing together some good starts. There's a world where Calvin Pickard actually gets traded, and that would not be good for this team. I can't believe I'm saying that.
You don't think it would be a good thing if they traded him?
No, if he got claimed. I don't think it's a good thing if Pickard got claimed.
I wonder if they do just try and trade him now that there's a few teams that are in the mix that you just labeled there, being like, hey, Ottawa, like, do you just want to get ahead of the curve and give us a 5th round pick, for example, like something like I could see that maybe happening. So then they don't have to throw him through, but then I don't know where the waivers would be obviously by that point, but maybe if Ottawa's the first team or you go to the second and third team, that might be an angle they could go for, but
what's up, Nation citizens? If you enjoyed today's episode of Oilers Nation Every Day, make sure you hit the subscribe button here on our YouTube to not miss any of our content. We got you covered from interviews, insight, analysis, everything you need to stay up to date on everything around the team. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a video.